What is a water feature?
What is a water feature? You don't know what a water feature. It was rather nice. We bought it at the Anusabri market, the Anusabri festival. For your information, just in case you're going to be around, is from the 5th to the 15th of March every year, and it celebrates our victory over the Jin Ho, who were the Chinese Unionese warlords that raced down over what is today Laos and through Nong Khai and all the way down to Korat, and they did a lot of raping and pillaging and all that sort of thing in the 1880s, and they were flushed out by Kun Prajak Silapagon, who had an army of Thais and Laos and Puan and a few British and whatever, and they managed to keep them out. So we have a festival here in Nong Khai every year to celebrate our victory over the Jin Ho. And we had bought this water feature because it's a big street market, and it was rather clever. It had a little pump, had a bowl at the bottom, and the pump the water up to the top, and there was a series of little dishes all the way around, so it made little waterfalls going all the way around and down to the bottom. And Ben and Johnny in particular liked to damage, sort of put leaves and stuff into stuff.
That was not me.
It was, when you were younger, it was. You used to enjoy doing like that, used to whatever, it was used to sway precariously, but it was really
that
nice.
was like when I was 2 or 3, okay?
Whatever. And it used to sit beside, for years and years, it sat more or less where the Gaia blackboard is. But then we had this chap from England in room 20. And it first started out that the people from room 2, right above him, said that they could hear there was a family downstairs making a lot of noise. And we said, well, there's no family room down below you. But they said, no, there's a family shouting at one another in the room downstairs. And we went down there and we discovered, as far as we know, there was only one guy in there, but in different voices there was a raging argument going on in the room. What are you doing here? Why did you follow me here? And so forth and so forth. Not a hint of paranoia in that, is there? So, as a result of this went on for some time. There were threats of violence between the different members of this argument. I'm gonna do you in. It was all done in sort of East London accent. I'm gonna do you in. I'm gonna off you. I've got a knife here. Put that down, and this sort of thing was all going on. So we didn't know what to do. We were all standing outside. I said to Power, I said, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't know how many people are there in there. I'm not going in there. So eventually, with it in full rage, full argument going on, all these different people all quarrelling with one another, we called the police. They opened the door, and inside was just one man.
I knew it.
But he was not particularly pleased to see the policeman. In fact, he looked. The shock on his face was pretty much the same sort of look that a wild gazelle has when it meets a tiger. If wild gazelles actually meet tigers or lions or whatever. On the Serengeti, or they don't have tigers. So, sorry, I'm upsetting your royalist credentials. Anyway, now, of course, Queen Elizabeth was on the Serengeti before she became Queen. Did you know that? No, she was. Yes, she was in Kenya on the Serengeti when she heard that her father had died and knew that she was Queen. So there you are. So that you do have world connections with gazelles. Now, thus it was that seeing the policeman there, the man was very, very shocked. I rather suppose that in his short life, he had had more meetings with the police of an unfavourable nature than I have, owing to his own peculiar way of presenting himself and his friends and his family to the world. And he wanted to run, and the policeman sort of stood back, and he grabbed his bag, which was still packed, and bolted for the entrance at high speed, trying to get away from the policeman at all costs. And his bag caught on the water feature. Now the water feature was made from pot. No, not marijuana. It was made from pottery. And the result was that it came tumbling spectacularly to the ground. My two cousins were staying, and my cousin's wife is lovely, but she is quite conservative. And, you know, seeing parts of the resort sort of spontaneously destroy themselves and magma fleeing at high speed wasn't her favourite. She was feeling just a little nervous about the great institution in which she was staying. But needless to say, that was the end of the water feature, and we have not had one since. That was 2008, and it is now 2012. And as the annual Saturday Festival will be happening in just over a month, I feel the time is nigh to collect from each of you a small donation.
Yeah, but you do keep it to yourself.
Members of the... We will be saying that the guests with more than one personality have to donate more than one. So there we go.
That is not the crazy.